So that's how the if also works. That's the nested if. That's how it works. We can test a lot of conditions in one program, and if a condition is true, it executes that block of code beneath it. Now let's go ahead and talk about one useful thing once again, the AND and OR operators. Now the AND and OR operators also help us to test conditions. Okay, maybe you want to test two conditions to see if the two are true or one is true. You can use the AND and OR. Now the OR operator uses the pipe sign. The pipe sign can be found on the backslash key. So you hold shift and you press the backslash key, you are going to get the pipe sign over here. Now this is the OR operator. Okay, now the OR operator, what it does is it tests for conditions. If one of the condition is true, let's say you have two conditions, if one is true, then it makes all the two conditions to be true. Okay, so let's go ahead with an example. Let's understand this. Two variables. First of all, int man, I'll set man equals a value like 25. Okay, then I'll set another variable woman, and woman is going to be equal to 20. Okay, so now I want this program to be testing for marriage. Okay, so what I can say is I'll say something if the man, okay, is greater than 20. Okay, and also if the woman is also is greater than 18. Okay, then I want to say something like they can get married. So I'll go ahead and print something out. Okay, so just a system out print. I have an error that I know. I'll correct that. Okay, so I'll say get married. Okay, so this is the program checks for their ages. If the man is greater than 20 and the woman is greater than 18, then they can get married. Now we want to use the OR operator over here. Okay, so what we want to say is if the man is greater than 20 or the woman is greater than 18. Now what this means is if the man is even less than 20 but the woman is greater than 18, then they can go ahead and get married. Okay, or if the woman is also even less than 18 but the man is greater than 20, then they can still go ahead and get married. Now what this means is with these two conditions over here, if only one of them is correct, the whole condition becomes correct and the block of code is being executed. So let me go ahead and run this program and see the result, and of course I should get married over there. Okay, because we are testing for the two conditions with the OR operator, and if only one of them is correct, then the whole thing becomes true. Okay, now let's go ahead and check for the AND. Now the AND has the ampersand that we use. Okay, so to use that you press shift and 7 twice. Now this is the AND operator. Now what the AND operator does is if one of the condition is true but the other is false, then the whole condition becomes false. With the AND condition, for the whole thing to be true, the two conditions has to be true. Okay, so let me go ahead and change this to the AND. I'll change the OR to AND by pressing this twice, and I'll clear this illustration over here. Okay, so now what we are saying is if the man is greater than 20 and also the woman is greater than 18, then we should print this. That means these two conditions has to be correct. If one is false, the whole thing becomes false. So when I go ahead and run this file, I'll get married being shown in the console. Yes, because the two conditions are true. Okay, because the man is greater than 20 and also the woman is greater than 18, so that is a true statement for the two. Now let me go ahead and change the woman's age to something like 17, which 17 we know is less than 18. So go ahead, run this file, and because one of these is false, okay, then you see I have nothing being printed in the console. Okay, now with the OR condition, let me use the OR once again and run file. Now with this time the woman is false but the man is true, so let me go ahead, run file, and I have get married still being printed as we see in the console, because the or says that one should be true, and if one is true then the whole thing is true. Okay, so still I have this to be true because the man over here is a true statement, although the woman is falsy over here, but still since this is true the whole thing is true. But with the end condition, two of the condition, I mean both of the conditions has to be true. If one is false then all are false. So let me print the else so that we really get to understand. Now else, I'll print something like system out print, and I'll say something like falsy condition. Okay, so now if I go ahead and run this file, I have a falsy condition in the console. Okay, because the man is true but the woman is not. Okay, so that makes the whole condition to be false in this program. We are still on this course learning the full Java language in this video. Now we know the and or operators, how they work. Now let's move on and learn a new thing. We are talking now about the conditional operators. Okay, so now we are talking about the conditional operators for real. The first one that we just ended is the and or condition that we talked about. For now we are talking about conditional operators. So again, int man equals 29 at this time, then another woman. Okay, so I can declare variables with a comma. As far as I have the int over here, I can just give them names and assign them to values. Okay, I'll set the woman equals 20 again. Now I want to print something if a condition is true. Okay, and I'm going to use a conditional operator for that. Now that is very simple, and it's a very good idea to use that one if you are testing for, let's say, not more conditions, not a lot of conditions, and you want two statements to be printed out. Okay, so what I'll say is I'll just introduce system out print line. Okay, and inside over here what I'm going to say is the man, if the man is greater than 25. Okay, and the woman is also greater than, so I'll introduce my and sign which we just talked about. So and the woman is also greater than 19. Okay, then we want to go ahead and print something out. Okay, so to do that, what we are going to do is I'll introduce the question mark over here. This means that we are asking ourselves a question. If this condition is true, okay, then we want to go ahead and print something. So just introduce your double quote once again and say get married. Okay, so if these conditions are true, as you see we are asking ourselves a question over here, if they are true then we can get married. And if they are false, now to separate the true and the falsy one we use the colon. Okay, so if it's false then I'll go ahead and say you can't marry. Okay, alright, so that's it. That's it, what the conditional operators is about. We have two conditions over here: a man greater than 25 and a woman greater than 19. So we are just asking ourselves a question over here. If this is true then the first print out will display. If it's false, separating them with a comma, I mean a colon, then the second one will also display over here. Okay, it's such a simple method to use it to test conditions as well. So let me go ahead, run this file, and obviously they should get married. Yes, so I have get married over here because the man is greater than 25, the man is 29, and also the woman is also greater than 19 because the woman is 20 over here, and 20 of course is greater than 19, so they can get married. Now since I'm using the and, that means both of the conditions has to be true. So let me go ahead and change the woman's age to 12. Okay, now with the and, the two of them has to be true once again. So let me go ahead, run file, and now you can't get married will be displayed in the console. So that's how you can test a lot of conditions. I mean, two conditions with conditional operators. It's such a cool and a very useful method as well. Now let's go ahead and talk about another useful variable in Java. Okay, and in this program I'm going to need a scanner class. So let me check if I've imported it already. Okay, it's here. Import Java from the util, and the class is called scanner. Okay, so let me go ahead and clear this my conditional operator. And now what we are coming to do is we are coming to talk about string variables and how you can read strings from users. Okay, let's say you are building a program and you want to know, let's say if I'm using the program and I type in anything, you want to know that, okay, Rudolph is the one who typed this, Prince is the one who typed this, Maxwell is the one who typed this. So you want to know the kind of person who entered this input using your program. Okay, so let me go ahead, declare a variable string Prince. Okay, and I'll take input from Prince, so I'm not going to do anything with that. Again, string, once again, a variable called string, and string Grace. Okay, then remember I have a scanner class over here. I need to initialize that, so I'll say scanner input equals new scanner system in. Okay, so I've initialized the scanner class, so I can use it now. Okay, then I'll say something to the user, so out print line, then I'll tell the user that enter your what can we read from them. Okay, enter your score. Okay, enter your score. Now we want to know that this person entered this so that we can verify if it is true that they are being loyal to us. Okay, so after telling the user to enter your score, then I'll accept input from them. Okay, so I'll say Prince, okay, equals input dot string. How do we okay, yeah, input dot next. Okay, so this is how I can accept an input from a string variable, input dot next. Then I'll say Grace equals input dot next. Okay, all right, so I have these two variables, accepting input from them, I'm telling them to enter their score, and now I'm saying I'm taking input for Prince over here, and I'm taking input for Grace too over there. So now all I need to do is I need to know if Prince is the one who entered this. Okay, so what I can do is I'll say something like I just need a printout system out print line. Okay, and with this print line I'll say Prince entered. Okay, then I'll add the variable over here, Prince. Okay, so whatever Prince will type will just tell me over here, it will show to me that this is what Prince typed. I can copy this once again, paste it, and change the names to Grace and the variable to Grace. Okay, alright, so let me go ahead and run this program. Run file. Now let's check what we have. So enter your score. So let's say the first person is Prince. Prince will enter 90. Okay, enter. Then the second person is Grace. Grace will also enter 59. Now in this program, Prince was not truthful. Prince wasn't loyal, but Grace was. Okay, so if I hit enter, now Prince entered 90 and Grace entered 59. So me being the lecturer who built this program, if I cross check, I'll know that okay, Prince is the one who entered 90 and Grace is the one who entered 59. Okay, so the person who is not being loyal, I can now deal with that person. Okay, so that's string variables, how you can read them. And also for us to go now, string is, I think I've talked about this before. String is the kind of variable that can accept both alphabet and numbers, so it's alphanumeric variable. Okay, so that's the string variable for you, and we are still learning Java in this one video. What you're about to learn in this video is very vital in Java programming or any programming language. We are about to talk about classes. Okay, now let me go ahead and adjust this overall. Okay, so now here I have my package source here, and under this package I have a class over here called readof. Okay, now what we can do is we can go ahead and create another class apart from this readof class over here. Okay, so to do that, let's right click on the package readof over here. But first let me clear all these stuff, I don't need them now. We know how to use the string variable now, and also to read it from the console. Okay, so let me clear these stuffs. Okay, so now I'm creating another class. Now the main reason why we need to learn about classes is that now with classes it has some kind of advantage to us when we are building a very huge big program. Okay, now what we can do is we can divide the program into classes and share the work to other programmers. Okay, for example, I can tell this programmer that okay, you do the login. Okay, so the login is going to be a class on its own. Then another person will do, let's say, the main page, which will also be another class. Okay, so that is very useful. And after the program has been developed by these programmers, what we can do is we can recollect them by calling all the classes in this main method. Now I've talked to you about this main method already in one of our videos, and what I said was that this main method is where program execution starts. Okay, and as we are going on, we are going to talk about methods, and you are going to really understand what the main method is about. Okay, so for now don't worry too much, we are here to teach you Java. Okay, so to create another class, what I'll do is I'll go to my package with NetBeans. Now with other editors like Eclipse, you can do it in a different way by going to the file or something, but with NetBeans, go to your package, right click on that and go to new. Now when you go to new, go to Java class over here. Okay, so that means I'm creating a new Java class under the package or under the project readof. Okay, that will not be under any other project but under the project readof. So what I'll do is I'll give my class a name now. So with this I'll call it super. Okay, after that I'll click finish over here. Now this is the part where the class is going to be saved. I'll click finish. Okay, so now I have another class under the package readof over here, and the name of the class is super, as we are seeing over there. Okay, super. Now what I'll do is I'll just do away with this comment, I don't need them for now. Okay, alright, so I have a class super over here. Now what I can do is, now let's say this super class is for another programmer doing something else. Okay, we have a very big program that we are developing, and one person cannot take all the headache developing all those stuffs, so we have shared the program to the programmers, and this one is going to do another stuff. So after that we are going to call this class in this main method over here for it to be executed. Now remember, if we do something over here and we don't call it in this main class, it's not going to work. Okay, so let's go ahead and do something over here to understand really what I mean. Now in Java program, it always has a class, and the classes has got methods. Okay, so for us to do something useful over here, we need a method in this class. Okay, so let's go ahead and create one method, and in this video we are going to just create a simple method that returns nothing. So public void, okay, and I'll give my method a name. So with this one I'm going to call it test. Okay, now after giving the name test, I need the parameters, the parentheses over here, then I need the body for my method. Okay, so I have a class super, and under the class super I have a method called test. Okay, now under this method test, what is it doing? I'm only simply printing something to the user. Okay, so system print line, and what I'll say is we are testing our second class. Okay, so that's all we are doing over here. We are just printing out something simple in this class called. Now, as I said earlier on, anytime you want to execute a program, it starts from the main method, or in other programming language we call it a function. They are just the same. If I go ahead and run this program, I have nothing in the console, okay, because in the main method there is nothing, although we have another class over here which is under the package readoff over here, but because that class is not called in the main method, nothing will happen in the console as well. Now for this to work, I mean for our super class to work in the class readoff under the main method, we need to initialize this class by creating an object for this class in this class over here under this method main. Okay, so to do that, what I'll do is this class name is super. Java is case sensitive, so be very vigilant about your spelling. So I'll say super, and now I'm going to create an object for my class super. It can be any name, so I'll say super object, okay, equals new super. New super, no, super. Okay, and what I need to do once again, introduce my parenthesis over here, empty one, and I'll close it like so. Okay, so now I have the super class being initialized over here with an object. Okay, now the object can be any name. It can be my name, it can be you the programmer, your name, your girlfriend's name, or whatever. Okay, so now being after initializing the super class over here, then I can use that object again, the object, to access the method over here, the test method over here, so that we can have all codes under the method test to now execute in the main method. Okay, so to do that, I will go ahead and use the object once again. The object is called super obj. Okay, very vigilant about the spelling. Now after that, I'm going to access this method over here called test, okay, under the super class. So what I will do is I will launch my full stop over here, then I will call the method test. Okay, so I'll type test over here with empty parameters and terminate. Okay, so for now, when I run this program, run file, now the console is no longer empty, but we have been able to print what is inside the other class over here, the super class with the method test. Okay, so that is working for us over here. We are testing our super class. So that's how we can access another class in our main method. Okay, that's how we do it. We use the class with an object, initializing it to the new class again, and after doing that, after initializing the whole thing, you go ahead and use the object to access the method. Okay, so that's it. That's how we do it, and we are still on it over here learning our Java course. Okay, so we now know how to create another class in our same package and access it or call it in our main method. Now we can do this a lot of times as we want it. Okay, so again, for the last time, once again, let me go ahead and create another class. So I'll go ahead, new, and I'll click on Java class. Then I'm going to give my class a name. Okay, so with this class I'm going to call it a class like a name like third class. So I'll say third class. Then I'll click on finish over here. Okay, so I have another class which is the third class under my package read off. Okay, and again, to use the class you need a method for it. So I'll just make a void method once again, public void test2, okay, with my parenthesis for now, empty one. Then inside over here I want to say another thing like now any codes that I put in over here will work when I call it in the main function, but for the sake of time I'll just do something simple. So I'll say system out print line what am I typing once again? System out print line. I'll say this is the third class. Okay, so after doing this I need to now go ahead and create an object for this class in my main class, my main method. So I'll go ahead and the name is third class, capital case sensitive Java. So third class, then the object this time around I'll call it red. Okay, equals new third class. Okay, empty parameters for now, terminate. So now I have the object over here which is red. I can use that object to access the other method in the third class. So I'll say red dot test2, then I need my empty parameters and terminate. Okay, what is okay, case sensitive Java is saying the spelling is wrong, so I'll take away this. Okay, now it works for me. So I can create a lot of objects. As you are seeing, I have two classes over here, super and third class. Okay, and I've created an object for all of them inside over here, and I'm using the object to access the method inside. Okay, so I can do this over and over and over again. Let me go ahead, run this, and inside the console down here we are testing our second class, and this is the third class. Okay, so now having this idea, or let's go ahead and create a simple basic program that will welcome our users if they log into our software or website or whatever. Okay, so this is just simple. Let me clear all these stuffs, then let me go to my super class top here, and in this super class I'll clear all this once again, including my method test, and I'll come also here and clean this too. Okay, now I'm not going to use this, and it's just there, it's not going to worry our program. So I'll come to the super class. Now in the super class I'll create a method void one, public void, and I'll call it my name. Okay, and inside my name, now in the previous tutorial we left the parenthesis empty over here, but this time around we are going to keep in a variable. Okay, so inside this I'll say string name. Okay, this is a variable that we've kept in the